So I may have ruined it by putting a cherry in it.
Oh, good. Okay.
But the rest of it was really, you've got all kinds of ingredients.
We'll get started in a few minutes, friends. We're just hanging out here. We got to test the alcohol first. That's very, very important. Test the alcohol. I'm going to run my promos because I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, who's that?
Oh, that's our guest coming up.
Oh,
Isn't
is
she lovely?
Adorable.
Yeah. That is in 2 weeks from now. That's Julia CHISHOLM.
Yep. Okey-doke.
So now I'm going to see if it's live anywhere else or if we've completely screwed the pooch today. I don't know. Anything is possible. Anything is possible.
So I'm going to run and get
good,
one thing I
live.
wanted to get that I forgot.
Okay, you go ahead and do that. I'm just going to hang out here and host this show. Whatever. All right, so we're running the pre-show crawl. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll get started in a couple of minutes because it's just me and this and delicious alcohol. Oh, yeah. I taste tropics. I taste happiness. I taste dreams. I taste many things. Okay. What did he do? Dan Chaika, mixologist, made something very interesting here. I don't know quite what it is, but I do like it. What did you make?
What?
What is this?
I am.
Mixologist man.
Yes, you ready?
Okay.
Simple syrup.
Simple syrup.
Bourbon.
Okay, bourbon.
As long as you don't screw it up, anything else will work. So you didn't have any lime or citrus, but you have a bottle of lime, and then you had fresh lime margarita liquid in a bottle.
I did.
Yes.
I did.
Yes.
I was thinking ahead. Oh my gosh, that never happens.
Which means, if you do get a blizzard and you're stuck here, you have plenty of lime. You have lime juice in a bottle plus this, which has a little extra with it.
This is great.
And then I'm like, I have to throw a garnish in there. And then I drop the cherry in. I'm like, I don't know if the cherry had something wrong.
That's okay. I have some of those little bespoke, organic cherries too. But I don't know.
Open. You also have like some black, dark, beautiful cherries up there.
Yeah, up there in my liquor cabinet.
Yes.
See, really, the reason Dan Chaika is my host, personal host, Emcee, I should also call you mixologist.
Yes.
Personal host, Emcee, and mixologist. So yes, what's going by, friends, are all the things that are coming up in my life, and things coming up on the Eden Show. So take a look if you'd like. And I'm just watching the crawl go by and making sure that this is active on all channels. So thank you for tuning in. And if you want to, tell us where you're tuning in from, friends. That would be great. Oh, thanks, Carrie Lee. Thanks, David.
Okay,
thank you so much. Kathy Glickman's here. Yes, she is. All right. And Carrie Lee says she can hear us. Yay. And this is Dan Lloyd. Hi, thank you so much.
Oh, someone I don't know.
And David Lau made it.
We know David.
I thought he had a tutoring job. I didn't think he did. And then Meredith says I'm sparkly. Yes, I'm trying to be sparkly tonight.
You are sparkly. I didn't notice that. It's
yep.
on the front only. Yeah.
Right. No, this is good. I was pulling this out and I thought, well, tonight I'm going to match the drapes.
Yes. There's an old joke in there somewhere.
There is.
Yeah.
There's a very old joke in there, friends. So, all right. Now I will turn down my beautiful lo-fi and I'm going to drink more of this mixology thing that Dan made for me, which is pretty awesome. This is great. So I hope you have a libation wherever you are, friends, and tell us where you're watching from. I know we have some guests that are in Chicago tonight. We've got guests in Ohio tonight. We've got guests in Rhode Island tonight. Viewers from everywhere. That is so much fun. Oh, Gordon Miles Entertainment Group. Hi, thanks, Gordon, for joining. What does Dan's shirt say? We'll trade racists for refugees.
All day long. And it's kind of like a Rorschach test for people who are politically argumentative, because half of them, there is a whole group of people who will be like, are you calling me a racist? I'm like, no, you just called yourself a racist.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with whether you're a racist or not. But
Yes, as you say in that 70s showcase, look in a mirror. Oh, David has a very good idea. Let's put strings of LEDs on Eden. That would make me an extra in a show called Gypsy. So we can do that. That's possible. But anyway, tonight I am not going to wear lights, but I will get lit.
I went to a Christmas party that turned out to be a raging COVID spreader, but
Sounds so fun.
the host, there was this last December, and the host was wearing a shirt that had Christmas tree bulbs on them that lit and were blinking.
Okay.
Apparently that's like an ugly sweater they sold this year for Christmas time for people. It was available at Target and Walmart.
I don't go out to buy the ugly sweater. I want the ugly sweater to find me.
I have plenty of them.
Right, right. And you know, I mean, for the things I wore in the 90s, that counts as ugly sweaters. Totally.
Yes.
Totally. All right. So what you got? Well, my teaspoons here. Are you going to be playing spoons tonight?
No, I needed to tighten this, and I couldn't find a screwdriver, so they were perfect.
That is a MacGyver move, and I'm
course,
proud of you.
I MacGyvered that drink for you.
You
no,
did.
no lemons, limes, or oranges in the house. Who doesn't have citrus?
Manhattan. We'll take Manhattan and Coney Island too. All right. So that's all I can do. But I don't have to play that much tonight because our guest has done a lot of pre-recording for me. So this is great. So I will play. I don't know. Should we play like the opener or something?
Oh,
Why not?
yes, let's start.
Okay. Let's get started. Ready and.
I'm sorry, I just got to find out where's the...
Who the guy is?
Okay,
He's from Chicago.
No, I just don't want to mispronounce his last name.
Oh.
So live from Studio One in the Steel Cow building, located in the heart of historic Wakefield Village, the home of Johnny Cakes and Brickley's Ice Cream, coming soon.
Yeah, a couple weeks.
This is The Eden Show, which is a Greenhouse Entertainment production, and I'm Dan Chaika. Eden's guest tonight is Derrick Procell,
Yeah.
legendary bluesman, musician, and songwriter from the home of the blues, Chicago.
Yes.
Oh, he will not be playing Sound Like a Song, but he will be playing all his own creations for us today here at the Eden Show. So without any further ado, Eden Casteel!
Hi there, friends. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it. I am Eden Casteel, and I'm not getting any younger. I am here live in Wakefield, Rhode
You are, though. You are. This show is like the fountain of youth.
Well, you know, I mean, a little retinol doesn't hurt either.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt at all.
There you go.
Doesn't hurt at all. So we are live here in beautiful downtown Wakefield, Rhode Island. Glad that you have joined us for tonight's really, really fun show. And it's the Ides of March. Who did we stab today?
I posted a picture of Kraft Caesar dressing with a knife through it today.
It's a good thing,
It's
right?
I stole that from one of our guests. It was on her page, Ida.
Ida. Oh,
Ida
yes.
had
Ida.
it up. Yeah.
Hi, Ida. So Ida, who runs the Arctic Cabaret Club in West Warwick. I'm going this month. This month, March 28th, is Chrysanthi Pappas. And Chrysanthi has a live stream show on Friday nights on YouTube.
Oh, we've watched a little of that for Recon.
Yeah, we've heard Recon. She's a wonderful, wonderful performer, and I'm looking forward to getting to watch her sing and play live. So, yeah, she's gold.
I forgot I had a candy in my mouth.
Oh, okay. Candy, alcohol,
Let's go.
whatever you need, friends, whatever you
Must
need.
go. I was going to start crunching the thing.
All right, so let's do a little bit of today in history since it is the Ides of March and nobody died.
Oh, what good history.
I know.
questions.
Okay, you want to do this first one?
Born on this day in 1943, Sylvester Stewart was born, making him 80 years old today. What's his stage name?
Do you know the stage name of Sylvester Stewart, a musician you kind of know?
Well, you know him. If you're watching this show, you know this musician. Everyday people.
Okay, who is it? Who is it? It's his birthday today. Any
Yes.
ideas? No. Cricket. I mean, my guest is in the green room going, I know it. So, and
He's screaming it. He's screaming.
Okay, any guess? Yes, Jeff Costello. Yes.
Of course, Jeff Costello.
Sly Stone. Very good. All right. Happy birthday, Sly Stone. Yep, and he got it, and so did Meredith. Very good.
Oh, good.
Okay, on this day in 1982, the Songwriters Hall of Fame, which started in 1969, on this day in 1982, who did they finally let in? So the Songwriters Hall of Fame started in 1969, and on this day in 1982, they finally let somebody in.
Which gives you an idea of just how legitimate the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is, because this person has a Nobel Prize for poetry.
Yep.
Yeah. We know you know, but you're in the green room, Derrick.
Okay, his Minnesotan, right? From Hibbing, Minnesota.
From Hibbing.
Because I used to vacation near where he grew up. Known as Robert Zimmerman.
Yeah.
to
Come on,
his
people.
Minnesotan relatives. And he was finally inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame today on this date in 1982.
Oh.
After he'd already had a pretty major career. Yeah, Mr. Zimmerman.
Mr. Zimmerman.
You can Google it if you want, friends.
One last clue.
Mm-hmm.
He blew everybody away when he broke out the electric guitar at the Newport Folk Jazz Festival.
And went Christian. How many times?
Oh, that's right. He had the Christian album. Yeah.
Da, da, da. Any ideas? Okay, he was finally in the... Yeah, Dylan.
There
right.
we go. We got some Dylans up
yes.
there.
Thank you. And also they're coming in.
Gordon.
Yeah, Gordon.
Bob.
Oh, Bob. So Bob was finally inducted into the
Meredith got
Songwriter
Bob
Hall of
too,
Fame.
yes.
Yep, good. As soon as I said Hibbing, right?
Yeah,
Because that's
Hibbing.
what Hibbing is famous for.
That's it.
I've flown into the Hibbing airport.
Oh, really?
Tiny airport. Very, very small. Okay. Okay, next one.
On this day in 1956, a musical opened on Broadway at the Mark Hellinger Theater. What was the show?
Okay, so all the voice teachers watching are going to get this. Can you get it just from that, voice teachers and sopranos? Like if Cindy Firing is watching, she'd have it like that. So what could it be, right? Okay, next part. With one enormous chair. Oh. That show opened today on this date. Oh, Meredith.
Of course. Thank you, Meredith.
No.
Oh, she got the show.
Yeah, My Fair Oklahoma. Kathy got it right. It is My Fair Lady. And yes, very good. So that show opened on this date in 1956 in the Mark Hellinger Theater. And what's interesting, okay, here's the next one, is on the same day in 1952, a show closed at the Mark Hellinger Theater. It's like 4 years earlier. All right. So this again is going to be kind of rough for the people unless you've kind of done all of this. So, and I meant to get this song out and I didn't have it. Dun, does anybody know it? It's really a deep cut. So I'm gonna miss you, baby. Things could have been terrific. Oh, what's the diff? If you went spending my life with if you hadn't made me your wife without the benefit of a marriage certificate, if you were not such a two-timing guy, if you weren't, if you hadn't, if you wouldn't, if you didn't, if you wouldn't, if you hadn't, but you were, you hadn't, you went and you didn't. So goodbye. Okay, that song is called If You Hadn't, But You Didn't, and it's from a show called Two in the Aisle, which closed 4 years exactly before My Fair Lady opened. Okay, that was a really deep cut. Sorry.
That was very esoteric.
Very okay. Last.
I think your dad was underage playing in bars back then.
Probably was.
Reaching deep for this stuff.
It was very deep, very deep. Okay, but the last one is kind of for everybody.
Oh, yes. It's an important day in history.
It's an important day in history. I want to see what answers you come up with, friends. This is a good one. On this day in 1968, the Diocese of Rome announced, okay, this is like the Catholic Diocese of Rome, right? Bishop of Rome is the Pope, right?
Yes.
I am insane. It is true. I am insane. The Catholic Diocese of Rome announced that it deplored the concept, but it would not prohibit what? At the Church of San Lezio Falconieri. So it said it deplored this concept, but it would let it go forward. Any ideas of what this Catholic Church would allow starting in 1968?
As always, just a little late to the party.
As always, just a little bit late to the party. I'll give you a little idea. No, they didn't allow Bob Seger in the church, but what was that song?
What was that
I
song?
should give you an idea
Come
of
on,
what they
people.
allowed. Or ow! Okay, ideas. I'm working real hard there. Okay, music? Yeah. Dancing? No. Rock and roll. Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Old time rock and roll.
Old time rock and
Kathy
roll.
Glickman.
Kathy Glickman, you're nailing this tonight. I'm so proud of you. So what this is in 1968, right after Vatican II, right? This church in Rome said, we deplore it, but we will allow it.
Yes.
We won't prohibit it. And so they allowed a rock and roll mass.
Wow.
You do rock? Do they have rock and roll temple?
There's actually, yes, they do Rock and Roll Temple.
Okay.
There is a rabbi in Barrington who does his service with the guitar over his shoulder, an acoustic, and he plays the guitar, preaches and sings throughout the entire. He's wonderful.
Avinu Makenu,
Oh, yeah.
Avinu Makenu, Avinu Shabbat Shalom. Okay, I don't know, so I'm not going to be.
He's
But
going to steal that from
But
you.
you know what? I mean, nobody knows what Catholics do either. So, Sanctus, 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 Domino Sabaoth. I mean, we don't know. So, but, good. Foreign language. We like foreign language. This is good.
So then Jesus Christ Superstar comes out, like
Yes.
4 years later, right? 5
Yes.
years later.
And it was because the Catholic Church allowed that right in their row, right? That's probably
So
why.
progressive at times.
Yeah, we can be. We can be. One of my favorite things about actually leading up to Holy Week, do you remember they used to show the 10 Commandments on TV every Palm Sunday? And then now they've started showing the Jesus Christ Superstar.
Right.
One with John Legend playing Jesus.
Yeah. It's
And
actually
Sarah
a great
Bareilles.
production.
It's a great production. I rather like it, I must say. So that's really cool. So yeah, I'm glad to see some rock and roll and some modern music happening in there. But
I do miss the 10 Commandments, though.
I do too. My son used to dress up like Moses.
Oh, how
When he was a little
adorable.
kid, it was his thing because we watched that movie a lot. He really liked the parting of the Red Sea.
Of course.
I really liked Yul Brynner as Pharaoh. So it was fun. Anyway, we digress because today
Yes.
is the best day in history. Why? Because our guest is Derrick Procell. Here he is.
Yay! Mea culpa, mea culpa. I'm just saying I'm sorry before we even start.
What?
Because, I'm Catholic. I grew up Catholic. So what can I say?
I went to Catholic school.
I was raised Methodist and then became Catholic, and now I play at a UCC church. So
there you go.
I'm a mutt, but I'm a happy mutt, right? I'm a liturgical mutt.
So here we are.
Here we are.
Finally, together again.
Yes, Derrick, I am thrilled you are here.
Me too.
This is so much fun. And so, friends, if you're watching in Chicago, you already know how great Derrick is. But if
And
you've
I knew
never-
all, by the way, I knew every answer.
Everyone.
of course.
Even though I'm not a music theater person, but I did know all the answers. So there
This
you go.
is wonderful. I'm so glad. So, well, I mean, and you are married to a voice teacher. who
Well,
is-
yes, I get all of that sort of secondhand. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Because
that's right.
she knows all. of
You
the
could be
music
like,
theater
you
stuff.
are Mr. Meredith Colby sometimes. and that's a
Osmosis.
good
Yes,
thing.
I am, Mr. Yes, it's all right.
Oh yeah,
you know.
no, she's great, and I'm glad
I
to know
know,
both of you.
yes.
But
I'm her arm candy.
you
know.
are her arm candy. And she just had a birthday this weekend. You took her to this really cool place.
Oh, it was so excellent. It was
was
called
not-
Cabaret Zazu in downtown Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
and it is cabaret like cabaret on steroids. It was cabaret mixed with Cirque du Soleil. It was unbelievable. The band, live band, 5-piece band, and I happen to know a couple of the musicians. And we had VIP seats for this thing. And there's acrobats and contortionists and jugglers and music, dining. It was wonderful.
Oh, I love it.
Absolutely. Anybody in Chicago area needs to go see the show.
Cool.
So there you
and
go.
It doesn't tour.
Shameless plug.
It's shameless. We love that on here.
Yeah.
We love a good.
It sounds
shameless
like
plug.
what happens if you move the cabaret up at the Club Cafe into the main disco.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
they tripped this whole place. It's like on the 14th floor of a Chicago downtown hotel, and they make the whole thing out look like you're in an old circus tent thing. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
Okay. Next time I go to Chicago, I gotta see that.
Add that to the
Absolutely.
list. Add that. To
It'd be
the
really
list.
good.
And
But-
speaking of Chicago, I've been in love with you ever since I saw your show in Chicago at Davenport's.
Oh, thank you.
You were so wonderful.
Thank you very
I mean,
much.
it was fabulous.
That is where I got to
Fabulous.
meet him. That's where I got to meet Derrick. So I haven't gotten to see you perform live, but lots
Not
of people
yet.
can. So you DerrickProcellmusic.com.
Yeah.
And so tonight, instead of you playing live, we have some pre-recorded videos of some of your songs.
Thank you. And that is only because I'm a control freak. So
I feel you. You see, I like failing openly. That's really why I do this entire show, is just to fail.
So apparently, doing it live in front of 60 people.
yeah.
8 viewers on
8
the
viewers,
internet
yeah,
scares
you're
the piss
fine.
out of you. Huh?
Right. It's okay. But I do see you have that beautiful home studio there, and that's
Thank
awesome.
you. Yes, that's where I am.
So I am going to set up to do one of your songs and
Okay.
just make sure I get that loaded and going. So
Let's
God
get
help
loaded.
me.
Let's get loaded.
I would totally like to get loaded. So I think we're okay. We may have to turn down our own volumes,
Okay.
Derrick,
Okay.
but we'll just see how that goes. And
Thank you.
friends, if you're watching and it's not coming out the way you need it to, we will do what we can. Okay? We will do what we can. So there's that.
Ooh, look at that guy.
Look at that guy. Who's that cute guy right
I
there?
don't know. He's kind of cool looking.
He is kind of cool looking. I'm going to turn off those graphics.
Wait, is that Navy Pier?
Is it?
Looks kind of like Navy Pier during the zombie apocalypse because there's like no one there.
Really? All right. I'm going to start at the beginning. This is your song.
Woo!
Happens just like this. It don't take long. Wake up one morning and look around, and your mojo's gone. When it happened to me, I would scream and shout, but my mojo went back in the bottle. You know it would not come out. Oh, the sky went dark and the moon went away. Every color of the rainbow turned to shades of gray. Then there you stood, right before my eyes, and from deep down in the bottom, that mojo started to rise. Girl, you shook that bottle till you popped that cork. Hit me like a hurricane, I hit New York. Hello, mojo. Hello, mojo. Nice to have you back. Hello, mojo. Hello, mojo. Stay right where you're at. Hello, mojo. Hello, mojo. From my baby's arms. Hello, mojo. Hello, mojo. Wipe me like a charm. The night we met, you took my hand, said my mojo must have entered the witness protection plan. And then fingers snapped on the hand of fate from deep inside that bottle. My mojo started to percolate like the midnight special rolling down the track. You eased into the station, brought my mojo back. Hello, mojo. Hello, mojo. Nice to have you back. Hello, mojo. Hello, mojo. Stay right where you're at. Hello, mojo. Hello, mojo. From my baby's arms. Hello, mojo. Hello, mojo. Waking like a charm. Like that midnight special rolling down the track. You eased into the station, brought my mojo back. Hello, mojo. Hello, mojo. Hello, mojo. Hello, mojo.
Oh,
Hello?
now I can hear you.
Okay. I turned down our audio so that
Oh, I dig. Yes, I know. Because you didn't want either one of us to like.
Get an
Yeah,
echo.
I get it. I was singing. I can't help it. That video, I love it so much. I love it so much.
tell us how you made that video.
Oh,
And by the way, friends, this is from your album, Hello Mojo.
that is
right?
the title track. The title track.
And it's been out for about 7 months.
Yeah, it as the kids like to say, it dropped on August 1st, and I just need to say this about the record. So when it dropped, it literally debuted at number 2 on the soul/blues chart on the Roots Music Report, which is kind of like where all of that kind of music, blues, jazz, folk, blah blah blah, all the radio stations report to them. It debuted at number 2, and then it was at number 1 for 7 weeks, and it's been charting ever since then for like the last 7 months. Every song, all 10 songs on the record, have gotten substantial airplay. So my thanks to everybody in the radio world that's played music from this record. But yeah, Hello Mojo, title track. That was the second video that we did, actually, from the record. And my lovely wife, Meredith, who we spoke of before, actually directed the video. She came up with a lot of the the scenes for that. And
That's so cool. We have never talked about that, about Meredith and me, doing the video thing. She did a great job.
yes, she did.
Yeah.
She did. She had some wonderful ideas, and it took a little bit of execution to make all that happen. Like shooting at sunrise at Navy Pier, Chicago's Navy Pier, which is why you could actually be at Navy Pier and have it be empty.
Right. That's about the only
we
time
got
you can.
we got the
yeah.
occasional jogger, going past us, but no, it was really cool. I mean, it was, and the lighting was superb.
Here's your wife. When he says a lot, he means all.
Give her
Yeah.
credit. Yeah.
Yes. No, she did. She did a wonderful job. And some of the bar scenes, the interior scenes at the bar where I'm dancing and meeting the object of my desire, the woman who reignites my mojo, who is a good friend of ours named Elizabeth Rude. We love her.
too.
She's another theater person and a great dancer, and so is her husband. And anyway, I'm not a dancer, but they helped me kind of get through that scene. Anyway, and that's a place that's called the Curragh, a nice Irish bar in Edison Park in Chicago, and I play there a lot as a duo. And so the bar manager, the guy actually who played the bartender in the video, let us come in and do some shooting there. And the band scenes, that is, most of those guys are now my current performing band. The drummer, the bassist, the guitarist in that video are now in my new band. And the sax player, in fact, which is funny, the sax player who plays the solo on the record and is also on the video, played with Sly Stone for a number. Interconnected. Whoa!
Corporation.
I know, right? Yeah, he played with Sly for a few years.
6 Degrees of Sly.
I know, right?
This is so awesome. Yeah, Stephen is a videographer, recorder up in Providence, and he said tight. And he also had a good idea.
He said tight?
Tight. He's tight. He said try to get him for Rhythm and Roots.
Nice.
Or a Jamestown concert. Rhythm and Roots is a Rhode Island festival that's held every Labor Day.
Nice.
And yeah, you would do great there. So I will get you information about it.
Talk to him. Yes.
Yeah, you would do really well. So, and that's a really fun thing, Rhode Islanders, to go to Rhythm and Roots over that Labor Day weekend. It's like 3 days of roots music and blues
nice.
and funk. It's just so much fun. Yeah. So that would be really great. So Hello Mojo is the title track, but I'm going to play another one called Skin in the Game that you wrote with a friend of yours.
Both of those songs, Hello Mojo and Skin in the Game. Skin in the Game is the lead-off track from the record, from Hello Mojo. And both songs were written with my now going on, 10 years writing partner, a guy named Terry Abramson. Terry and I met back when I was doing jingle work in Chicago. And Terry was this kind of wild and crazy, independent, sort of very hipstery character that was kind of. I would run into him at mostly at industrials, and he would write the lyrics for these things, and I would get called in to do a lot of stuff for Snap-on Tools. I was the Snap-on Tools guy because I could deliver that, sort of Americana thing, and yeah, so he reached out to me several years later and said, "Hey, man, you write songs, don't you?" And I said, "Sure." He said, "Well, I got some lyrics." And we've been writing since then. We've probably written 100+ songs.
Wow.
Yeah. We've had some successes with other artists, but a lot of them, 4 of the songs on Hello Mojo were co-written by Terry and myself.
Cool. I'm going to get skin in the game working on
Skin
here.
in the game.
Oh, everybody put it back to the beginning so everybody can see.
Both
okay.
videos produced by the same fellow, Lev Music in Israel. I found this fellow. Yeah, I found this fellow on Fiverr, and we love Fiverr.
We love Fiverr.
Unbelievably affordable. He does a lot of lyric videos, and
Finish your video.
yeah, this one we didn't do. We didn't do any shooting
We know
for
what
this. I
Okay.
just sent them the music, sent them the lyrics, and said, oh, and some some in the studio stuff, and I said, just go, put whatever you want in. So this is
what you did?
what happened.
Awesome. All right. We get this up and running. I'm going to mute us again.
Okay.
The right words roll off of your tongue like the 7th child of the 7th son. That gypsy glow shines in your eye like the devil moon in the voodoo sky. But it's only smoke and mirrors, it ain't but all for show. Till you sit down at the table and buy your chips with a piece of your soul. 'Cause I'm all in and playing to win. It's time you do the same. 'Cause love ain't loving, no love ain't nothing till you got skin in the game. You're moving close, so smooth and fine, like you played this game 1,000 times. But no limit is all I play. So walk the walk or just walk away. This bet ain't the ponies, the numbers, or the dice. This bet's on the lightning. You know it won't be striking twice. 'Cause I'm all in and playing to win. It's time you do the same. 'Cause love ain't loving, no love ain't nothing till you got skin in the game. Get in the game, baby. This ain't about getting lucky. The luck was when your eyes met mine. This is about love's got no room for doubt and laying 2 hearts on the line. Now I'm all in and playing to win. It's time you do the same. 'Cause love ain't loving, no love ain't nothing till you got skin
by. Look at
Oh,
them shoes.
Derrick, now I can,
Look at them shoes. Where did you get them shoes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was awesome.
So, okay, a little bit about that video or that song. So, that's the lead-off song from Hello Mojo, which was promoted and marketed in the soul/blues category, and you know, it was agreed that that song should, you know, kick off the album because it most represented that genre, I guess. You know, it's got horns, it's got soul, it's got all that, you know, all the requisite, you know, you tick off all the boxes for soul blues on that song. And the record was produced by one Zach Harmon, a soul blues award-winning artist himself, and that's him playing the lead guitar on that song.
With that green guitar? Dan was
No.
admiring the green guitar.
No. So, well, that's not Zach. That's my guitar player, actually, Darren J. Fallis, who is a blues artist in his own right.
Oh, cool.
But I hired him for that video, and now he's playing guitar in my band. But it's funny because Zach saw the record or the video, and he laughed and he goes, "Yeah, that guy you got playing the guitar, he didn't quite get all my licks." Like, dude, give him a break, you know? Like it was for the video. I thought he did a pretty good job, you know, miming the you know, the guitar licks. Anyway,
Yeah, air piano's fine.
Well, he
air
ain't no
piano, air
Billy.
guitar, yeah.
Yeah, it's all spins. It totally spins. So, Derrick, soul, blues, right? And what do you prefer to be called? I called you a blue-eyed soul man.
Well, you know, I see that across the bottom here. Derrick
Trying
Procell,
to-
Chicago's Blue Eyes. It's like
Checking every box.
it's like I'm the only one. Chicago's Blue Eyes. So
Tonight you are.
tonight I am. Well, no, I mean, you know, there are many blue-eyed soul men here in Chicago. Chicago is home of the blues, right? In a lot of ways, people know, you know. But here's the thing: the blues it's huge, you know. I mean, it's a huge umbrella that a lot of different things fit under. Soul blues, blues rock, Chicago blues, which is its own stylistic thing, country blues, Delta blues. I mean, there's you know, southern soul blues. I mean, there's like all these things, and they all fit under the big blues umbrella. I play, you know, and have played for years something sort of, I like to call it blues adjacent.
Blues.
You know, that's kind of a term people like to use now. So I am.
right,
I mean, I'm blues adjacent. I started out playing blues in one of my very, very early bands in Milwaukee in, like, you know, the late 60s. I'm old. And you know, really, I played in a band called Parchment Farm, and we were playing the British blues guys who were mimicking or learning the blues from all the guys here in Chicago and stuff, right? Like people like John Mayall and the Animals and the Stones and, you know, all of those people. And that's where they were learning blues from. And it's funny because I was growing up in Milwaukee and these guys were like 90 miles away from me in Chicago, and I didn't even know anything about them. Right? I'm listening to Steve Winwood and Eric Burdon and you know, Mick Jagger and learning about the blues from them, not really even knowing that they're learning it from guys 90 miles away from me. Until I finally went, oh, wait a minute, Chicago. There's something going on down there.
Right. What is this amazing percolation of music happening within driving distance?
Right. So I started coming down here to listen to music and, you know, seeing people like Paul Butterfield and Buddy Guy and Junior Wells and all those people. And so, yeah, learning the blues sort of secondhand through the Brits and then becoming, but I also loved so many other kinds of musics that, you know, I don't know. I like to think, like I said, I'm sort of blues adjacent. You know, I started out playing in this band and played with a country rock band after that, played with a couple rock bands, played with some more blues bands, played with, you know, soul
Blues
bands.
can't handle you. You
Right.
can't be contained
You can't
with
read it,
the blues.
listen.
So you've done a little bit of everything. And you've,
A little bit.
But yeah, and you like it. And you mentioned you had done some jingles.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
So
may
my
be able to
when
pull it, but go
when
ahead,
my
tell me
when my
through.
when my last full-time band, which was actually a country rock band in Milwaukee, started out in the late '70s and lasted about 4 years through like through about '82, called Arroyo. There's a band name. People in the Midwest have no idea what an arroyo is.
Isn't it like it's a swale, right, in the desert?
Yeah, you're right. It's
Basically,
a dry
yeah.
river
The dry
gulch,
riverbed,
whatever,
yeah.
right? But people would see that spelling Arroyo and freak out and go, what is that? Arrow, Arpo, Arararo, So anyway, which is funny because the band that I joined to become Arroyo had been called Rio, which is so it went from a river to a dry riverbed. I don't know. That should have told us something, like a portent of things to come. But actually, no, we were pretty popular in Milwaukee. We were the first. We were the winners of the very first Whammy Awards, the Wisconsin Area Music Industry Awards.
What a great acronym that is.
The Whammies. Yes. And
So, of course, if you win twice,
we-
yeah. Nobody's
Anyway.
ever made that joke, ever. This is a really good old-fashioned. Anyway, go
Is it
ahead.
good? Oh, hang on.
so good.
Hang on. No, I don't normally imbibe on a weekday, but
Right.
I'm joining you here.
Okay, that's all right. That's what we do on the Eden Show. But
Ah,
nobody's
yes.
watching anyway.
Yeah,
No,
right?
I know you are watching. Anyway.
Hey, everybody!
But how did you wind up doing jingles?
So okay, so when Arroyo, which was like literally a full, nice way to bring it back. Arroyo was my last really full time band. I mean, we played 8 nights a week basically, for very little money because we had a lot of overhead. We had the truck and roadies and the whole 9 yards, and then when we finally broke up because we just couldn't sustain that band. I was wondering what to do, and happenstance, I ran into the producer of our record, the one and only Arroyo album, which, like I said, won the Whammy Award. And he said, "Hey, I'm working on this jingle thing now. I'm working in a studio here, and you'd be great for this thing we're working on right now." And I thought, okay, why not?
Why not?
And that was it. That was the beginning of. So I go and do this thing, right? Like an hour in the studio, and it didn't go anywhere. But I got paid as much for that 1 hour in the studio singing this jingle as I used to make for like a whole week of knocking my head against the wall playing, right?
Yeah.
And I went, let me see. I like this better. This is nice. I'm going to pursue this.
It's nice
So
to be
yeah,
a jingle artist. I just happen to have one of your demos here,
Oh no.
and I think because he sent it to me.
Oh, okay. He had that look on his face like, don't you?
Because I asked him to, and
She did. She did.
I did, and I wanted to hear. And you actually sang one to me when I was sitting in Davenport's, which was awesome. And so I don't know which one is which. I'm just going to randomly play
yeah.
one.
Play
and
just
then
play something,
kind of
and
fun.
I mean, we had to make these demo tapes literally about every year or two, just to prove to the music producers that we worked for that we were the bomb.
So what you're going to see here is it just looks like a Google form because that's the best way I could do it. I'll just start playing and
Oh,
we'll see
look
what
at
comes
that.
up. Oh, come on. What? What? It worked 10 minutes ago. Okay, I'm going to try the other one.
There was a problem.
Shit.
Shit.
Yeah, shit. Okay. So I guess I can't play them. I'm sorry, Derrick.
That's all right.
So really, yeah, I swear
Well,
to God,
okay,
it
well-
worked like an hour ago.
Okay. Well,
I blame the old fashioned, but go ahead.
All right. Well, let me tell you. So I'm trying to think what the very first. So this is a kind of actually funny story. So the very first session, I get called down to Chicago. I literally back then it was a reel-to-reel tape, right?
Yeah.
This was even before cassettes. I sent my demo reel to all the music producers in Chicago, and it was, it's like way too long. I didn't do all the good edits and stuff that you're supposed to do. And I get a call eventually from a guy named Paul Libman, who actually, I think he called me mostly because there was a Milwaukee connection there. I think he had lived in Milwaukee for a while, and it was for a beer spot.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing he says when I walk in, he goes, "So can you read music?" And I said, "Not really." He goes, "It's all right. Here, listen to this.
Just try this.
You know. I mean, I can't sight read, so he plays this thing for me a couple of times, and I'm, well, yeah, I got it. I've got a really good ear, but I'm also listening to it, and I'm going, that singer sounds really familiar on here. Why do I know this voice? And it's like, it's really bugging me, And finally, I go, oh, I think I know who that is. So I asked Paul. I said, Is that the guy from Survivor, the guy who sang "Eye of the Tiger"?
Oh, him.
And he goes, yeah, they just, they want to hear somebody else on here. And that's just kind of how it is in the biz. Not like he didn't sound great. It's just, they wanted to hear something else. So all of a sudden I'm getting like really nervous now. I'm like, oh shit, I'm replacing the guy from "Eye of the Tiger." Oh,
He already got paid. Right?
But I learned the song, listening to his vocal and, and went out and did it. And that was it. I mean, I didn't get that spot. It didn't go anywhere. It was just a demo. But I got a call from the same producer, I don't know, a month later, for my first one that actually went, and it was for Bagel Dogs.
Bagel Dogs. Okay, so now I have to hear you sing a jingle just so you can prove your bona fides. Can you sing one of them?
Okay, here it is. I don't know what key it was in.
You're in D.
Hot dog in a bagel bun, eating is fun in a bagel dog. that was hot dog in a bagel bun, eating is fun in a bagel dog.
Genius.
How about that?
Absolutely.
And it went on the radio, and I made tens of dollars. No.
Isn't that the dream of all of us musicians?
Yes.
No,
eventually though, the Chicago is a very big town, and it's a but that community,
I'll work on it,
dude, lower the gain.
That's all right. You did it on the fly, and I appreciate you. But yeah, so
it's a small community in a very large city.
Yeah.
And pretty soon, I mean, it was just literally a matter of months before other music producers were like, hey, who's this guy? Who's this new guy? And then, and the beautiful thing was nobody felt like proprietarial, it was like everybody was like, oh yeah, Derrick Procell, man, you should hire him,
You sent me an hour worth of jingles. You did a lot of them.
I did a ton of them between like the mid 80s and the very early 90s.
I'm going to see if I can make this work again because I just so desperately wanted to work.
I had so many things. I used to watch like a football game, and then the commercial break would come on, and 2 or 3 times during the commercial break, I'd just be sitting there, eating my nachos and going, yeah, cha-ching.
There, I think I got one to work.
Yep.
From the mountains
Woo!
to the heartland, the folks here seem to know. Do the best you can with what you have.
Woo!
And always let your pride show. We're part of America. Sea to sea.
Woo!
We're part of America. We can breathe free. We're part of America. Best we can be. Place that's home.
Trucks.
You and me. Home to you and me. This much for all that you do. There's no man true blue as you. You know the stats, yeah, you got them down pat. You know what every team can do. You've been in making work, man. This much for you.
This bud's for you.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, man. One more.
The taste that's always right. And when I'm doing all my moves, I got to keep it light. And there's only one light that belongs in the night. Michelob Light.
I didn't even know that one.
Light.
That is awesome.
Michelob Light.
Tunes.
Yeah, man. So I'm sure this will come as a shock. I came in as the beer voice guy, because at that time, that really tore up rock, a lot of cigarettes and whiskey kind of, not that I was that guy, was really the voice they wanted for beer commercials, and oh man, I mean, and there were like, I don't know, several of us here in the Chicago area that were vying for every spot that came through.
I can see the ad guys now. Chicago, we're going to go to the place because they have lots of people who drink beer there, and they have that, the huskiness of the voice. That's where we're going to get our guys. Yeah. It's totally where I do it.
I kept waiting for that beer truck to back up to my house, man.
Thank God they didn't pay you in beer. Thank God they paid for your house. Right? That's more important to be paid for the house, not the beer.
I had a couple of commercials that, paid well enough that, down payment on the house and like that kind of thing. Send your kids to college kind of thing.
This is a good thing. You got a daughter in college right now.
One of them was, I think it might even be later on that same reel, for Spam. Good old Spam. Ooh. I like Spam very much. I do.
You did it like a British Oliver?
No. You remember the raisin? Remember the raisin? California raisins commercial, right? Yeah. With I heard it through the grapevine, and it was claymation. Yeah. So the good people at Hormel decided, hey, that's really cool. We want to do one of those.
Let's animate our product.
So they did a claymation thing of a dancing can of Spam.
Classic.
Yeah, you can find it's actually on YouTube. You can find it. It's hilarious, and it's playing at, believe it or not, the Spam Hall of Fame. There's actually a Spam museum in Austin, Minnesota.
And you're hibbing.
Yep. No, it's
not. Do you still get residuals for that, or is that
no? I don't. They bought me off. They bought me off. But that commercial, I was the voiceover at the very beginning of it. Like one
Steven
line.
Remembers
I don't remember
you.
What. Yes. Yeah.
This is the voice of the dancing Spam, friends.
And I was the solo voice, the lead singer, and I was also in the group. So every time it played, and this is all union work, by the way. Awesome. So they got to pay you. I got triple payment for VO for a solo voice and group. That was one of the good ones.
This is good. Spam is good for us in many ways.
Yes.
I'm going to put you in the green room for a minute and do some shameless plugs, and then come back with you. So,
I'll be here.
All right,
I'll be enjoying my liquid
You
refreshment.
enjoy your libation. Thank you very much, Derrick. Put him in the green room right there. All right, it is time really quickly for some shameless plugs for everything else going on in our lives.
I'm sorry, I was watching Dancing Spam.
Oh, no, that's okay. Did you find it?
Yes, I did.
Shameless plugs, shameless plugs. If I am in it, I want you to see it. Shameless plugs. All right, these shameless plugs are brought to you by Eden Casteel Music Studio. I can read this myself. Whatever you want to do, Eden will make it better. Want to sing? She'll make you sound better. Want to write songs? She'll make them sound better. Boy, I didn't write that well.
Want to perform? She'll make you perform better. Eden's just better. Learn more at edencasteel.com.
Thank you very much. Okay, shameless plugs. We have a lot going on, a lot of fun stuff. So here they are. I know. There's a lot of me on here. So I'm going to do pop-up piano bar this Saturday night. I've started doing these little pop-up things.
I know.
Super fun because I have this beautiful new camera. So it'll be Saturday night right here on these same channels you're watching the Eden Show. Make song requests. I think it costs like $1 a song. So Bedroom Farce is happening at the Arctic Playhouse. I saw it last week. It's great. Directed by our friend Karen Besson, who was an Eden Show guest last year. Go see it in Arctic. Julia Chisholm will be our guest in 2 weeks on March 29th. She's a singer-songwriter based in Boston, but I think she's going to be live in the studio.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, and she's a dueling pianist, so we're just going to have two pianos and go to town. Can't wait. Lakefield Idol Live is happening next Thursday night, March 23rd. So I won't be doing Eden Show next week because I'm going to be rehearsing all of them here in my house.
We understand.
And I keep on saying I'm going to do a live stream, but honestly, guys, when I'm rehearsing, I kind of forget to live stream because it's kind of like,
a lot of shit going
It's a lot of shit going on. Yeah. So I will if I can, but it's going to be great. But the best thing you can do is get a ticket to watch Wakefield Idol live. So I think it is sold out in the room, but you can watch it on live stream. Visit contemporarytheatercompany.com. Speaking of, you must come and see that 70s showcase this Sunday,
Yay.
the 19th, including this guy over here, Dan Chaika.
Yes.
He's playing the Truckin' Dad, and I've got the hot mom, the gonzo manager, the ghost writer, and 3 gorgeous girls who are breaking up. They have a group called the Quahog Girls, and they're breaking up. That's the 70s Showcase, 23 songs, live band, full bar, free parking. What more do you want? So we will see you for that on Sunday, 6 p.m. at the CTC in downtown Wakefield. Tickets available now at contemporarytheatercompany.com. I'm just going to be living at the Contemporary Theater for the next week, and that is okay with me.
Yes.
Remember this picture from the show? Wasn't that fun?
Yeah.
So I'm putting up that for the graphics, and so that way you can see all of the information about this show. It's not going to be live streamed this time. It's just live and in person, but do come and see. It's going to be delightful. ContemporaryTheaterCompany.com.
On a big stage.
On a big stage.
Yes,
We get to have a little more room. Ron Cowie's going to run sound. That's my, Mr. Eden Casteel.
No more elbowing people away from the mic.
Yeah. And we got an extra mic. So we already had a rehearsal. It's going to be really, really fun. So come and see everything. Thank you very much for these shameless plugs. There, that ends all of our beautiful shameless plugs.
Yes.
So yeah, those were the good old days. Absolutely, right? The 70s, man, they're awesome. So I was around during the 70s. You were
Yes, and
around
if you
in
do
the 70s.
come,
Yeah.
we encourage you to dress in your 70s garb.
Yes.
And you must sing along.
Yes. Sing along.
Yes.
We have so many songs to choose from. I got Have a Cigar. I got Still the One. I got Vienna. I got You're So Vain. I got You're No Good. I got Yesterday Once More. I got I Write the Songs. I got Brady Bunch Theme. I got Your Mama Don't Dance and Your Daddy Don't Rock and Roll.
Barracuda.
Magic Man.
Ooh, Barracuda.
On Broadway.
Yeah.
I got All By Myself, the Eric Carmen and the Celine Dion.
Life's been good.
Life's Been Good. He's doing that
Little
one.
Feet Willin'.
Little Feet Willin'.
Oh,
and Convoy.
now we're talking.
We actually have trucker hats and we do a trucking thing in Convoy.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
yes, we're looking forward
Derek,
to
it's so fun. So tell me a little bit about music when you started. Like, do you child prodigy? What?
Nah, I wouldn't call it prodigy. Well, if you would believe my mother, she said I was whistling in my crib when I was, like 1 year old, like actually whistling melodically. So, but I
That usually means they're supposed to roll you over.
yeah. I think that she was misinterpreting get some signals wrong. No, but I started taking piano lessons in grade school. I'm trying to remember what grade. I don't know. Somewhere in elementary school. We did not own a piano, so and I went to a Catholic grade school, so I had to go to the convent to practice my piano.
Were the nuns nice to
Man,
you?
talk about being aware of your environment.
Yeah, I bet.
I was like, they would close the French doors, but I knew they were all like sitting out there on the other side, so I had to, right, and yeah,
Right. Anyway,
right,
you played
and
nice stuff.
But I couldn't help myself because I would start just doodling, because that, back then I was a daydreamer. Now I'd be known as an ADHD kid. But I was,
ADHD,
right?
So close, so close.
I mean, they didn't know that term then. But yeah, I would just, I would just start goofing around, and
Stephen is
then
saying,
next thing I know,
remember when
Sister Catherine Labouré, that was the music teacher. She'd come in and Mr. Procell, oh okay, and and then I realized after the lessons got harder and harder, and I was not really reading the music. I was just playing shit by memory. Mm-hmm. And after a while, this stuff was getting a little too hard to just play from memory. And then I'd be like, okay, that looks like a C. No, wait, I think it's an A. Yeah. So that was the extent of it. And the next thing I knew, I was playing rock and roll in bands, and I knew that that's kind of all I really wanted to do.
And
you
the
know,
rest is history.
started writing songs pretty early on. And like I said, Parchment Farm, you know, I went to college for a couple of years because I thought I might want to become a teacher. And then I quickly realized that was not the life for me. I was not cut out for that.
You teach through your music,
And
right?
out of the draft that's sent over to Vietnam. So
That's also good.
yes, I'm glad I wasn't there.
Yeah. So I have another song to play called.
You
which
do?
one?
Of
Yeah, I have-
mine?
yeah, one more. I think 'cause
Okay.
we're already been on live for an hour.
Oh,
So
God.
What I'm going to do is, let's see, I've got to find this one online because you sent it to me. Okay. I know which way I'm going to do it because we had all that fun audio, hell earlier. But I figured out how to make it work. So I started in radio. Do you want me to play Who Will Tell Lucille or Bittersweet or Marianne? What would you like?
Oh my! This is like choosing which
your
of
children?
my. I know, right? No, don't do that. Just pick one, and then we can talk about it. Whichever
Okay.
one you want. What's your favorite one?
I'm going to pick Marianne because I love that name.
Oh, thank you.
All right. So here's Marianne by Derrick. Now I'll pull this up.
1, 2, 3, oh.
Woo!
I grew up on the wrong side of the tracks. I never had much of nothing. I didn't let it hold me back. On the day that I met you, girl, I knew that you were from that other world. Oh, and I probably didn't stand a chance. But you took me in and you loved me just the same. You didn't care about where I came from or my family name. But your daddy, he don't agree. He says you could have anyone, why me? Oh, and I will probably only bring you sorrow and shame. Yeah, yeah, Mary Ann, I love everything about you, but you're old man. Mary Ann, he's trying to tear us apart, but I don't think that he can. He says I'm no good for you, but he don't understand. I need you, Mary Ann. I need you, Mary Ann. So you better take care if you want to spend time with me. We need a secret little rendezvous, somewhere that your daddy can't see. Well, I know you couldn't give a damn, but it's for your own good, Mary Ann. But now, I guess it's how it's gotta be. Yeah, yeah, Mary Ann, I love everything about you except for your old man. Mary Ann, he's trying to tear us apart, but I don't think that he can. He says, I'm no good for you, but he don't understand. No, he don't understand. I need you, Mary Ann. I need you, Mary Ann.
Awesome. Now I can hear you again. Hello.
I love.
You did great.
I love how that I actually shook the camera with that last chord hit.
Yeah. That's just good playing, man.
Oh,
That's just
thank
good
you.
Playing, man.
You know,
Play the
okay.
contender.
play the contender. Okay, we'll talk about both of those. Marianne, actually, Marianne was a song that I wrote for a music library project. I've had a bunch of songs, including one of the other ones that we're not going to play, which actually ended up on my album called Bittersweet Memory, which it was also written for a music library thing. And then I'd been playing it live and decided this really needs to be expanded. We added some horns and really turned it into kind of a classic Memphis soul thing that it now is. And I got into this music library thing once again. Things that happened to me in my career, jingles and voiceover, music library, licensing and stuff. It's all just, I don't want to say it's pure dumb luck, but I'm one of these guys that things kind of appear in my life, and then I just pull on the right strings, and they lead to the next great thing. That's how Hello MOJO happened. But
you're wicked talented. It's amazing how things kind of sometimes fall in line. Not for everybody who is wicked talented, but I'm delighted that it happened for you.
Well, like I said, I think it has a lot to do with just being aware of opportunities and
right,
pulling on them. And Marianne was one of the very first music library projects that I did. A project of Americana music, right? So the original version of that sort of, a little bit of aping of Tom Petty.
Okay, I can hear that.
It's got a little bit of that going on.
Because I was thinking of Marianne.
Petty meets Springsteen, right? Maybe something like that,
the
right?
rolling, the relentless rhythm is Springsteen,
right?
But the key and the vocal style is Petty.
I've yet to do that song with a band, and I'm going to try to work it into my new band
totally
show.
Should.
Can you hear that da 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 as a horn line? Da 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 da, right? Like as a horn line. Yeah,
I totally can. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so we're going to work that out. But that's been on, I don't know, a couple of different shows. I can't even remember what shows it's been on. Like I've had a lot of placements. Most of them are restaurant bar scenes where, it's called incidental music, where it's just kind of like, there's music playing that would normally be playing in that bar or restaurant, right? So it's kind of there, but it's not intrusive. Most of my placements, but it's okay. It doesn't matter because it pays the same as music that's up front, so I don't really care.
This is being a modern musician.
Absolutely.
You sell music for situations like that. It's jingles. And
it's content. It's known as content.
That's right. And I live stream for that very frickin' reason, right?
I'm a content provider.
You're a content provider.
Yeah. So anyway, Marianne, I love that song. Thank you. Thank you for playing it.
This Is Us. Oh, yeah. You played it on This Is Us?
Oh, that's right.
Your wife/manager PRs. Wants
yes.
to talk about that.
Thank God someone's paying attention.
Well, Marianne was not on This Is Us, but I actually had an even older song. So the same people that got Marianne and Bittersweet Memory on some shows approached me a while back about, do you have any like really old stuff, like from like the 70s or 60s or maybe
That's
even
not
into
that
the
old.
80s? Well, you know what I mean, right?
No, I'm just getting a little touchy. Just a little touchy.
Well, no, because music supervisors are looking for authentic music from those eras for placement in these shows, and they're looking for stuff that is from that era and not stuff that's created now to sound like it's from that era. Right? And they can tell the difference because of reverbs and drum sounds and blah, 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 blah. So I said, yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff just kind of sitting around on my computer, collecting dust. And they said, cool, let us try to exploit it for you. So I had a 40-year-old song called Hold Me Closer, kind of an early soul blues thing that I'd written and a little horn section on it. And it got placed in the show This Is Us for nearly the whole song, like 3+ minutes worth of it, like a whole scene. It was playing through a whole scene. And that's kind of cool, ending up on a network TV show.
Really?
I made it like $1.280,
Hey, that buys a subscription. The other thing I think you're famous for is that your dog brings your newspaper in every day.
Our dog Sandy is the coolest. She's the best.
Yeah.
She only really knows one trick, but it's a great trick.
So your wife has put up videos of your dog bringing in the newspaper every day from your the driveway, and she carries it all the way into you.
Yes, very proudly too.
She just sits there
With
and
the
does it.
newspaper
Yeah.
in between her teeth.
See, this fun is yours if you friend Derrick and you follow him on all the socials and you look at DerrickProcellMusic.com and you look up where he's performing next. He's all over Chicago, friends, and should be. It's so good. It's so
That's
good.
right. If you go to DerrickProcellMusic.com, or you can even go to HelloMojo.net, and it will get you there. Same thing. You don't even have to figure out how to spell my name. It'll get you there. And yeah, it's got all my music that you can purchase, download. You can get a signed autographed CD if you're still like playing, physical CDs. All my gigs coming up. Anyway, okay, by the way, can I shameless plug?
Heck
okay.
yes.
Yeah, here we are. So anybody in Chicago area, day after tomorrow, St. Patrick's Day. I mean, you know how big St. Patrick's Day is in Chicago, right?
Kind of big.
Right. I mean, there's a million things going on, but the one thing that anybody out there needs to know about and to show up at is I do a Van Morrison, the musical patron saint of Ireland. I do a Van Morrison show.
Anyway.
You know, that song was actually originally titled Brown Skinned Girl.
Woo!
And his record company said, yeah, can we maybe? Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I do 2 hours of Van Morrison, and that's going to be Friday night, St. Patrick's Day, at the Rao Center for the Arts in beautiful downtown Crystal Lake, Illinois.
Crystal Lake! I love
Yay, Crystal Lake! It's out there, but it's worth it's worth the drive.
Yeah. And you
then
also, go ahead.
and then my new band, playing my original music, is going to be performing on Friday, March 31st, the end of the month, at the venue, capital T, capital V, the venue, right, in downtown beautiful Aurora, Illinois, sort of the opposite end of Crystal Lake, like south,
Right,
sort of
exactly.
south and west
Yeah.
of the city.
Wayne's World, party
Wayne's
on,
World, yeah,
excellent.
Wayne's World, yeah,
Illinois.
excellent.
Okay.
And the we'll be there on Friday the 31st for a show, 2 sets. I think we start at 8, and then a week later, I'm going to be in downtown Arlington Heights at a place called Metropolis,
She's everywhere.
doing my Joe Cocker show.
Oh.
Still I got to have a chance to see some night I have strangest dream. Cause I'm by the way.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. See, I didn't
Yeah.
even know he was going to do that, but I was hoping he would, and I'm so damn glad you did.
So anyway, okay, ask me which one of those 2 tribute shows is harder on my voice.
You might need the help of a really good vocal person to recover from Cocker.
Actually, the Van Morrison show is
Really?
yeah, because think about it. His stuff is high. He was like a low tenor, really high baritone. I mean, a lot of straddling of A's, G's and A's and stuff.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah. And Joe, despite all his tore up stuff, he kind of stayed in a
sits
lower
lower, right?
lower range.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm actually more vocally fatigued at the end of a Van Morrison show than I am after Joe. Right?
sense.
So you do Joe to recover from Van.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, and that's on April 8th at the Rao Center, at Metropolis. And then looking way forward into May, on May 20th, I'm going to be, oh my God,
Yeah.
eating mine like a steel trap.
Because I started playing your stuff. Anyway, go ahead.
May 20th, I will be headlining a blues weekend, or should I say a blues adjacent weekend, at the Rao Center for the Arts, once again with my band.
This is
There you go. I'm done. No more plugs.
Shameless plugs.
Plugs.
You did a great job with your shameless plugs. And
Thank you.
the best
What a
way to
great
check,
night.
since I can't make you a pretty graphic, is to go to DerrickProcell.com and DerrickProcellMusic.com,
Yes,
me,
thank
or
you.
HelloMojo.net.
Net, yes.
And you can see everything that Derrick is up
All
to.
the shows there. And you can pick up your very own Hello Mojo merch there. There's a link.
I'm so proud of
You
you.
gotta have a
merch.
mug, a t-shirt, not this t-shirt, but
We
you
should,
know.
yeah, I should make this the Eden Show T-shirt. We'll trade races.
Yeah,
for
you need
refugees.
an Eden Show t-shirt. And
I
a mug,
do. No, I have
and a
zero
mug.
swag. It is time. It is
God, yeah,
time. You are
God.
guest number 78. It is time.
God, yeah, that's about damn time.
You think? It's about damn time. All right, I'll work on it, friends. I will work on it. So, Derrick, it has been delightful to have you.
My
be a guest on the
pleasure.
Eden Show.
Thank you
Oh,
so
my
much.
God.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, friends, this has been wonderful. So I will see you, friends, in 2 weeks for Julia Chisholm live here, probably in the studio. She's still thinking about what her travel plans are because she performs all over the country. So, but I hope to get her in the studio, and we will have dueling pianos and her singing a bunch of stuff. I can't wait. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Stephen, for that great suggestion. I'm going to tell him all about Rhythm and Roots and get him in touch with the people. I think it's a very good idea you had there. So there's a bunch of Rhode Island venues that would be great for you, but number one would be Rhythm and Roots, Derrick.
Yeah,
Really,
yeah,
really
yeah.
good.
Please try.
Do a
Make-
little
make
mini
it
tour
happen.
that weekend.
Yeah. So
Yes.
don't whatever you're doing Labor Day
Make it
weekend,
happen. Number
figure it out.
two. Number two.
Yeah,
make it
number
happen.
two will make it
Yes,
happen.
Make it happen.
Yes, stay warm out there in Chi-Town. And friends, I will see you all in 2 weeks for the Eden Show. But I'm going to see you for Piano Bar live on Saturday night if you want to check in. And it's all on these same channels. And again, thank you so much, Derrick. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you. My pleasure.
So now I'm going to see if I can get my video clip to play. God help me.
Let's go.
Last week it didn't. So this is my closing credits.
last
I
week
worked
we
hard on
sang it.
these.
Oh,
and
right.
actually, I added to them, Dan.
Oh, no. I'm gonna
I
have to
added
watch.
to my
All right.
credits.
All right.
So thank you again, Derrick. You have a good night.
Night, night.